Every month, at least 3 animals are forced to leave their natural habitats for tragic reasons. Where do they end up? On the bagel planets of the Aniverse Astro Galaxy, of course. Alone, families left behind. What can you do to support them? We have good news for you. This month, you can be the one to adopt Prince Frogalot, King Crowford, or Queen Hipponina. Become their new friend, or even their new family. For the sake of humanity, for the sake of Animal Kingdom, do your part. Sad Bagel Majesty, your key to sleeping at night.
Yeah, man, Simple Purples, I'm gonna Blessed Beats. Today we're gonna talk about the love language between the SP-404 Mark II and the Maschine. They are the talk of the town right now, sort of like in the gossip worlds. You can say the Brangelina of the beat-making worlds. There's a lot that you can do as a couple with them. We want to send us a shout out to Beggs and Aiken for even discovering this in the first place. I was not aware of this and I explored the full capabilities. You should check out his YouTube channel. Also join us in the Discord if you want to have a chat with this Norwegian Viking them. Check out the channel, link in the description. Let us go and have a look at our favorite love couple. We have a lot to cover today. Number one, first initial setup steps is very simple really. What you need to do is take one of these regular ass USB cable to USB-C, plug it into the Maschine on your left, and plug this USB-C end into your SP-404. Side note, what I want to mention is the outputs from the SP-404 is what you need to have connected to your sound card or your audio listening device system. We're almost good to go in this here foreplay phase. All we need to do now is head into settings on the Maschine, make sure we're on the audio tab and select this interface that should pop up on your screen right here. It says SP-404, HW SP-404, hard on wear SP-404. They are ready to mingle, ready to proceed to the lovemaking stage. Now, when it comes to the inputs and outputs of the Maschine, you don't really need to worry so much about that because SP-404 is sort of like the dominant one in the relationship when it comes to the audio routing stuff. Of course, you can plug in some external hardware, you know what I'm saying, some little flings on the side, some side chicks right there. If you want to, for example, have a synthesizer or a vinyl player plugged into the input of the Maschine, you can have that, but you don't really need to worry about the output because right now all of the output is going to be coming through the SP-404 the way we have this set up, you know what I'm saying? So you will notice I have the scene set up right here on the Maschine. There won't be any sound coming out initially when we have set the sound card to be the SP-404. So the SP-404 is now the sound card of the Maschine. If we want to hear this beautiful noises that we made with the Maschine, we have to press the external source button. And this will monitor anything that's coming in through the SP-404. And by default, we're sending the output signal of the Maschine into the SP-404 right now. You might want to have to take a look at holding shift down and pressing external source to check out your input settings. Right now the routing says mix here. That means we're mixing the signal of whatever is playing on the SP-404 and the external input. So if we would sample anything, it would resample what's playing out of this and this at the same time. Right now we want to have this set to external in. So anything going into it is only the external input, which is the Maschine. Here, mind you, also, if you like me have a microphone plugged in at the same time, this one, there's no way to switch this input off as an external source. The way that you would have to do it is turn down the gain if you don't want to accidentally record microphone sounds at the same time as you're sampling stuff, for example, from the Maschine. Let's try now, do we have any sound? Yes, we have this basic drum and bass groove going, you know what I'm saying? We're feeling it, it's feeling good. Okay, good. So, number one, the most basic thing, just running the machine through the SP and applying the effects. Already here right now, the way we have it set up with the external source being turned on right there, we can apply any effects that we want. Let's try with a filter just for basicality's sake. DJ effects looper. See, there have you. If you have a live setup, for example, and you just want to run the master output through the effects, that is all you need to do. Activate the effect while external source is turned on. Number 2 adventure that you might want to make is sampling something from the Maschine into the SP-404. This is very simple. It's already set up the way we have it set up right now. Just press Rec. Select the empty pad. You might want to check out the recorded settings first. Make sure external in is selected. Go out. Now whenever you're ready, press one of the pads, and once we trigger it, once we reach that threshold level, we're going to send the ejaculation from the Maschine into the SP-404. Whenever we're ready to stop it, reaching climax. All right, now let's check it out. What do we have here on the pad number 4? Numero quattro. I can see this come in handy in many ways. For example, you stumble across something that sounds nice, a nice little loop or something. You don't want to use it right now, but you're like, hey, let's just put it to the side, keep it in the library of love right here to pick it up and maybe bring it on, apply it to some other project in the future, for example. What about the other way around? We want to sample something from the SP-404 into the Maschine. It is really quite simple-tastic. Let's just make a new group here, go into sampling. Check out our settings right here. Our input is set to external stereo. That is correct, Mundo. In 1, left and right. Recording mode set to detect. That is up to you, really. Whenever you're ready right now, the SP is about to give a blowjob to the Maschine. Press start. Of course, any effects applied there will also be recorded. Now, be wary here of the external source. If you have both external source on and the monitoring on, you might get some feedback. I tend to just keep the monitoring off because you will hear what's coming out of the SP anyways in this phase. Right now, we're not hearing anything played back. Again, make sure that you have external source turned on if you want to monitor any of the output coming out from the Maschine, you know what I'm saying? There we have it. Also be wary of the output volume levels going on in the SP-404 when you're resampling into the Maschine, because right now, as you will notice, the volume is a tad bit lower than the other one, you know what I'm saying? So you might want to compensate with that or make sure that your output volume is a little bit louder. Now here, those are the very basics. Let me show you the really interesting stuff. It turns out that the SP-404 actually interprets 2 different stereo inputs. There's external 1 and external 2. So what we can do is actually isolate what we want to send out from the Maschine to the SP-404 to be processed by the effects. So right now here, we have 3 different groups. Drum break. Synthesizer pads, thick-ass dub bass. Let us say in this hypothetical situation that we want to send only the drums, give a kiss from the drums to the SP-404. How do we proceed to doing this? Let's hop into the channel settings right here on the Maschine. And for simplicity's sake, let's just send out the whole group instead of separate sounds. You could do it on sound level, group level, not master level, because obviously you would be sending the whole thing. Go with the group. So channel, group, output, audio, destination, master. Is this correct? No, it is not. We have external 1 and external 2 here in the menu. If we send it to external 1, it will be affected by the effects of the SP-404. If we set it to external 2, it will not be affected by the effects. And also, if you resample back into it, you won't be sending these sounds around there. It's just sort of bypassing it. We're hearing the output of what's coming through here, but we're not doing any type of rerouting or processing. We're just sending the sound that's coming from this group in through the SP-404 and then out into the big world. So in this scenario, we want to send only the drums through the effects, and we will put the other two groups through external 2. So the drums are on external 1, synthesizer pads external 2, bass external 2. You notice we can still hear everything. Let's just try first for demonstrationalizing sake what happens if we turn an effect on right here. Beautiful! Only what's coming out of group C is being processed by the effects. Let's try one more simple thing before we get into the really good stuff. Now, let's just resample something through the effects and back into the Maschine straight away on the fly. Get an empty group, select the empty pad, go into sampling. Make sure that we have stuff coming in through the SP. Let's try a funny effect. Simple as that. So now we know how to process sounds coming out from the Maschine into the SP-404, out into the real world. We know how to send kisses and lovemaking back and forth from the Maschine and the SP-404. What if we wanted to make it a tad bit more complicated and record something that will be synced over time and resample that? Little bit more complicated territory here, so if you're not aware with how to handle clips and scenes and arranging songs and stuff, I suggest you check out the full workflow tutorial or the avoiding clips video, which also shows you a little bit on how to not avoid clips. We're going to be working with clips. First, let's hop into the ideas view right here, and we have this scene. I want to append this into the song mode. So from here, I will press shift. No, I will not. I will press scene and append and pick that one scene. Now let's hop from the ideas view to the song view, and we can see there that we have it. Let's turn on the loop here. Let's activate the loop by holding shift and pressing restart. Now we have that section looping. Now I want to apply some lo-fi effects to this here drum break, and I also want to automate it a bit over time, over 16 bars say. And this is important. We need to decide beforehand how long of a pass do we want to sample, because we need to set that up for a most smooth process. Since we have already 8 bars here, let's set the length to 16 instead. That will match up what we want to do. And now I want a clean slate here. I want an empty group that we're going to resample the automated drums into when we're doing this sampling pass that will be synchronized with everything else. So we're going to route the drums into the SP-404, give it a new clip that runs over 16 bars, and we're going to record that whole performance pass, so to speak. So number one, you want to make a clip that's 16 bars long now. So let's hop into clip from here. Let us create a clip. Let's move this motherfucker to the beginning and change the length of it to span 16 bars. Now we are ready to do our ting-ting. Almost. Up out of the song view, go into sampling. And now, so this automatically syncs up and lines up without having to record any MIDI information to trigger this sample that we're going to sample. We're going to set this to loop, set this also to 16 bars, and target to sound. Now it's really free as soon as we start this. Before we start resampling our performance into here, we want to set up the effects. I actually like this SP-404 vinyl sim. You can actually hold remain and press the effect button if you want this screen to stay open here and not just disappear right away. So I'm just going to set that up. Get a little bit more organic vibes, you know what I'm saying? And then we are lucky enough to have 2 effect slots right here. So I'm going to hop over to the other bus and we're going to add our lo-fi effect there to get that Omega crunch. Find one that we like. Okay, that's a little bit... fuck. A little bit overboard with the compression there. I like this filthy sound. Now what we're going to record is we're going to manipulate a little bit the tone in here and just for an example, you know what I'm saying. Let's start this pass. Let's prepare the Maschine to be the receiver right here, and it's waiting for the next bar to start. Now we can just hit restart whenever we're ready, and it's going to record only the drum break being processed by the effects in the SP-404, and it's going to apply it to a clip so we can instantly use it right away. Magnificent and amazing. All right, let us stop that. Let's see what we got. Right now, since we have 2 copies of running of the drum break, see we have the drum break right here on group C. We can mute that original one and keep only what we recorded into it. And let's see what's going on here in the song view right now. We have our clip running over 16 bars, and we have inside of that clip our beautiful recording of love. Alright, that is it. I hope that gives you an idea or two of how to better communicate in the love relationship with the SP-404 and the Maschine. Check us out in the Discord, the Black Hole, for lovely gang activity and the more other. Okay, bye-bye.